internal dignitaries of Vigyan's Pharmacy College and the participants from the home institute and from the other institute. I welcome you to this session. Let me thank the management of Vigyan's Pharmacy College who has given me an opportunity to take this session. I express my heartfelt thanks to the principal of Vigyan's Pharmacy College, Dr. P. Srinivas Garu, who has accepted a profile and given permission to take this today's session for the young aspirants of the Vigyan's Pharmacy College and other students, participants of the state. Also, my thanks to the coordinator Vishwanath Garu and team, and my special thanks to Madam Srihan, who just took time to read a few minutes. With this note, once again, my wholehearted thanks to each and everybody who contributed to have this platform and provided me an opportunity to interact with a different domain from my own domain, that is the pharmaceutical domain. So hope many of the participants only from the pharmaceutical department. So regarding my details already Madam shared. So now it is the time, let us go to the session. So first, I would like to give this talk on, as I mentioned, the entrepreneurship and innovation as opportunity. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, let's have a glance view on this today's focal points in this whole topic, that is introduction and need for entrepreneurship, choosing as a career option for students, challenges faced by entrepreneurs, next generation or new generation entrepreneurs, those who seek it is a career option, innovation and disruption, young graduates into an innovative entrepreneurs, how to start a startup, and sector-wise details, various supports normally the government of India is already providing. So not only success part, also other side we have the bit disappointment situations. A startup may also fail. So those are the reasons which I am going to highlight, especially since it is arranged for pharmaceutical students. Also, I would like to give a few areas where students belonging to pharmacy make this as a career opportunity. Also, sometimes we can have our own alternates to do finally as a small business. With this, I would like to sum up after this session with some notable points that we can have a question and answer session. So let us have a look on it. Who wants to be an entrepreneur? That is more important, right? So here, everybody cannot be an entrepreneur, it's very sure. So it is a very different kind of journey, which many already experienced. At our level, we have seen many people as a co-faculty member, others. But as a student, maybe it is very new, but this term entrepreneurship is a roaring word for the last decade, right? So fortunately, today, in each and every corner of the colleges, we have this opportunity. To know that there are few more options. What is entrepreneur? Who wants to be an entrepreneur? Like that, we can think in many directions. Sometimes there is a literature to know all these things. Sometimes there are other venues to understand what exactly it is. Like that, so entrepreneurship can be known through various sources, right? Especially for us, it is very simple. Being a member of Vignan family, fortunately, we have a great, a legendary, visionary, and founder of this group, our beloved chairman, Ratyaji. So, being a managing trust of this Vignan group, he directs always people as it is the student century since he was already a teacher. He is the only person pioneered in residential education system in the United Andhra Pradesh. We are very proud to work under his guidance. So he is the kind of visible entrepreneur every day in our own campus and for our family members. Because today our group is progressing and having many institutions which holds about more than 45,000 students. It is solely happens under his leadership, vision, encouragement, motivation. Why I'm telling all these things? There is a lot of literature to know all these things. That's what I told you. So, an educated person like me, you or many, can go through the literature. Somebody may not be fully educated to go each and every literature. What is the source for such people? These kind of people are the source for such people. When they see, observe, definitely they themselves can conclude what they supposed to do. Right. Other side also, because we are regionally organizing, we should first find the regional people which are elevating at global level, though they're born at regional. That is different issue. See these two pictures well known to all of us. Of course, as a student, they may not name exactly the left side person, but other side, everyone can easily identify, right, that other side entrepreneur. So the left side person more suitable to this pharmaceutical, that's why, and also is very much close to us. If you see both of them, not even far away from each other. It is almost like 50 kilometers or whatever distance they have. One is Anjireddy Garu, he is the founder of this Reddy Labs, and other is Ramojirao Garu. So both are different, versatile, their domains. One is technically strong, elevated the technology through entrepreneurship. Other is his own ideology, arts, taste and preferences through different modes, food, media, entertainment. He built another empire. So that is what both are very much close to us and not far away from each other. It happened only here itself, apart from our own example I'm telling you. Like that, many more we have, like national level, often we talk always about Ratan Tataji, right? If you see some of the quotes, global level also, what Winston Churchill told, any country's economic growth, right? It's definitely because of entrepreneurs, right? Because entrepreneurs recognizing the power of idea. These are the only people. These are the only people to do things better than what normally the competitors are doing. Right? They only provide some value for money to consumers. Right? They always think of people. Similarly, what Narayana Murthy Garu told, they should have the such work, passion, humanity, and humbleness is the secret for success of many entrepreneurs. So what this is what I told earlier. This is in the form of literature. One can easily know something while go through the literature. before what I played through pictures. That also speaks the same, you see, you compare, all these words are there already in those people. This is what really the entrepreneurship. So that is the reason people are also very much interested about entrepreneurship. Nowadays, the scenario has been changing. Sorry, this is. Now, if you see entrepreneurship,
Sir, మీ వాయిస్ రావట్లేదు సార్.
sorry, sir. Is it visible, sir?
A slide is visible, sir.
Okay.
Voice now it's okay.
So, entrepreneurship development.
And you can keep in PowerPoint.
This way, right, sir?
You can keep in slideshow, sir.
Slideshow, okay. So by operating, somehow it is again disappearing. So the keypad problem, something. That's why. Okay.
Okay.
Just
okay.
with me any operational problem.
Okay. Now it's okay, sir. Now it's okay.
Entrepreneurship development, right? Where we have to develop this culture. First of all, at educational institutions. Later, or once they complete their graduation, they know how to carry forward once we properly develop, as long as they are at our institutions. See, these are the different perceptions of entrepreneurs. So, who is an entrepreneur, how he should be or she should be, like that. So, no doubt everyone says we have numerous definitions for entrepreneur, but everyone definitely accepts entrepreneurship is a kind of person who effectively control activities towards the commercialization. Also, he is a kind of person able to build his own enterprise or her own enterprise with a common quality, that is risk taking, apart from many other qualities. So, majority cases, entrepreneur also a kind of innovative person. Always need not be, but majority times entrepreneur also inherently an innovative person. Then only it will come out as true entrepreneurship. So if you see this symbolically, how really they are in the field, a person is target, the people, their thought sharing, their thinking capabilities, like that, they always play their role only to reach and do something to the societies at the community levels, right? So this entrepreneurship anyway, very new for many of us even till today because of its own kind of constraints and many reasons, we all know that. If we go through the chronology, in the Middle Ages, somebody is used to call today's entrepreneur means it is something like a person or anybody. He should be in charge of a large scale production industries. Example, Ford, Henry Ford is there. So people knows only Henry Ford is an entrepreneur because he used to produce more number of products through his units, like that. Example I'm telling you. But in 17th century, the perception bit changed. So that means there was no such kind of economic cost, such words. That's what I want to conclude. In the 17th century, if you see, this thing came. So one should also have the risk-taking capacity. Here, risk means, what risk means? Mostly it is very simple, financial risk, no other risk. So that's what that finance came into the existence in the 17th century. If you go to the 18th century, where who supplied funds and received interest, typically, if many are in Telugu, we will call Vadi Vyapar. So nowadays it is something like our Muthoot, fintechs. Nowadays it is a form of fintechs example. So that is a kind of step-by-step change in perception according to the environment and situations happening across the globe and society. Coming to 19th, 20th century, almost same, where entrepreneur is also innovator, right? So he keeps on, or she keeps on, develops something new through technology, who creates many things and maximizes the opportunities, right? He is having the initiativeness, right? Also ability to organize many social and economic mechanisms, and also accepts the risks when the failure happens. That is more important for anybody, because nowadays it is a very notable issue that the education institutes also, right, from the schools, if something they listen against what they expect, majority times what is happening day to day media we are observing, where it is that is the parameter entrepreneur should have. That's what we should consider the value of entrepreneur, and to become an entrepreneur, how we supposed to be. Today, no doubt, entrepreneurship is about all this and even more than this, because the scenario has been changed. This entrepreneurship is basically a process, right? So this is being an entrepreneur who starts any economic activity. Nowadays, that's what today's talk. It is might be directed by Minister of Education or cell. What career options they have in entrepreneurship? We cannot compare. Like today, every company hiring people, right? Like that, if I do entrepreneurship course, will somebody take me? No such perception. Here, entrepreneurship or innovation as career means, it is exactly what the government of already coined the name Atmanirbhar Bharat. So it is self-reliant. So that is what also a kind of career opportunity for all of us, right? So in this process, you always need to create something. Ultimately, you need to convert as a business kind of concept. So while adding many of your interests, strengths, what you want to add for that, entrepreneurial activity, say, basically in the society, it is only our perception, whatever we feel to become an entrepreneur. Once you go to the market, you need to consider all the societal parameters. Right. So as an entrepreneur, it also influences your socio-economic background, psychological aspects, cultural and other factors. I think no hesitation to speak, caste, religion, gender, family background, because all these things are parameters in the entrepreneurial journey. Especially if you take in a nutshell, I can give one example. What are all these parameters students may have? The big right ambiguity. Very simple example. The regional background plays. Yes, you are from Kashmir. Other person may be from northeast. So where being an entrepreneur to serve your local communities, you must possess the ability to understand the needs of that local. So that's what where we played the region also factor. Genders, yes, certainly, because we consider a lot of things when it comes to women. That's why we have separately have a program and considerations for women entrepreneurship. So where they do very well in such cases. So in this entrepreneurship journey, right, normally we have a doubt. Somebody is a lecturer, somebody is a doctor, somebody is an actor. But who is this entrepreneur? Right? Can we find like that? Who is this entrepreneur? You can't designate or just identify a person is an entrepreneur. He or she may be an entrepreneur. So this is, since it is a kind of different process through which they do ultimate things, that is one thing we have to know. Pictorially, we can understand, right? Because we are habituated to get something through pictures than literature many times. Right. So now, if you see this picture, somebody may have doubt as we have put the question mark, right? What is this entrepreneurship? Further, if they look into this picture, they try to get something. Oh, the entrepreneurship may be a person who is trying to build something, right? It may be in the name of startup. The building is also how the person also looks very stable, humble, straightforward. Anymore it appears. Also is looking for its progress, growth. It is happening while taking the support from all other resources which are nearby him. If you take a kind of example, if you take this figure, how this figure relates to this gentleman. So startup in which area you supposed to build? In which domain you want to serve? That is more important. Then what is the relation between this bulb? Yes, you should have to have a spot, right? Idea should blink. So symbolically, we put all these things. Also, dollar, because global economy. Finally, you need to manage all these things we are going to discuss. And the chain team you build. Also, how you bring this startup, from where? This is the bottom to top approach. Our vision should be at top. Always ideas at ground level. In between, if you do something in the name of either research or in terms of giving solutions, anything could be. This is what with this, who is an entrepreneur means. With this, one can say, yes, entrepreneur may be like this. Let us see some of the entrepreneurial characteristics. Being an entrepreneur, it requires a specific set of characteristics and skills. Right. We all know before recruiting a teacher, what our management, higher authorities will look into the people who may fit for this profession or not under certain parameters. Similarly, because entrepreneur is an ambiguous journey, in that ambiguous journey, to identify the skills required or such characteristics, it is really a very tough job. But still, people already concluded. Let us go through those characteristics, because today one among us, maybe tomorrow entrepreneur. So let us verify and see. So at least through this session, we can know a bit about the essence of these characteristics. Do we have any of these? Do we have all of these? Like that. Let us take this risk taker. Nobody else is a better person than we ourselves to check this parameter within us. Right. Where business has involved lot of risk many times. So the person should be able to minimize that losses. How do he or she can minimize those losses? Any process if you take through analysis, optimizations, research, you name. Some approach, some domain is essential. Through that only they can reduce the risk. That's why the person also willing to take the risk. It's not blind. It should not be a blind risk. Once again, risk taker means it's not a blind risk. It is a risk which is already evaluated, predicted, maybe forecasted. So that is the kind of anticipatory risk. Perceptive. Perception is very important. Who should be perceptive? Because as an entrepreneur, he or she view the problems as opportunities always. So, example, somebody is an entrepreneur, their perception after. At the time of introducing the Aadhaar cards in India, there was a lot of ambiguity in the process, disturbance, difficulties. But an entrepreneur would see these are all not the disturbances, difficulties. I got an opportunity to do something. So they came forward. Now the things have been reduced. In between the entrepreneur raised. That means entrepreneur is the one who gave the solutions. Curious. Entrepreneurs like to know how the things work. Right. So that is another quality. And also who should be imaginative. So one can imagine. Okay. Normally, this recent COVID also, this is what we are all very proud of it. Again, we must salute that Bharat Biotech, who made our country proud across the globe. She is also one among the entrepreneurs. So they imagine about solutions. Any problem, they are able to imagine. Just take that. Who can invest that money? It is sudden, nowhere experienced, entirely new. You know the finance involvement in the process, but there the people came forward and did it success. So that is what imaginative capability that has only for the true entrepreneurs. Persistence, right? So this is another parameter, okay, which involves many things. I will not discuss all these things. So goal setting. So this is another important quality of any entrepreneur, who should be very clear to set the goals, okay, towards do something. And hardworking, obviously, each of us, not only entrepreneur, that is general quality, hardworking. Self-confident. So this is also essential for all of us. Perhaps entrepreneurs should have more than compared to others, right? So first, they always believe themselves, no doubt. It's true. Also, he or she should be flexible. Mostly, the professionals or scientists, maybe any right professionals, we are not so flexible. because what as per my observation, I'm telling you, because majority times what we experience through profession, what we already did based on theories, experimentations, we always try to stick those things. We cannot just compromise at moment. But here, surprisingly, entrepreneur a bit different. Who should be flexible? So this is what all we see nowadays. If you think all these qualities, right, slowly adapting to or made these qualities essential to even other persons also. But these domain people should have more independent anyway, no doubt. And that is what the foremost quality of an entrepreneur, who has to be an independent person. We see the need for entrepreneurship because today we are specially talking the name of career opportunities in the innovation and entrepreneurship. What is the need? That way, if we see the need for entrepreneurship, these are the points listed. Right. So these are the points. First and foremost thing, it increases the national production. Also, these demographic development differences and all these things can be balanced. Right. So this economic distribution properly happens through this kind of culture. Also, the reinvestment of profit for the welfare of the area profit generation. So obviously, they also go for reinvestment. This is what usually happens. Right. Development is a function of motivation and human resource. It is a continuous process. That's what development. So it happens definitely through the right motivation and manpower or human resource, whatever you call. For all these things, we should also have some entrepreneurial awareness. For all these things, one should have some entrepreneurial awareness. Normally, entrepreneurs challenging the unknown. So that is the reason they recognize opportunity where others are in confusion. That's what I told earlier, Aadhaar card example. So when others see the confusion, chaos, all these things, they find it is an opportunity for me, he or she, anybody. So they are aggressive catalyst for change within the marketplace. They are the best catalyst to see the change in this marketplace. They always challenge the unknown things, always try to create the next generation or future, whatever you say. So these are some of the most important things because challenges. So another important things, challenges faced by entrepreneurs. Because if you find the true challenges, our journey will become a bit easy. That is what. So in this area, what I highlighted two things in my observation are most challenging points. Other three are also there, but in my opinion, where I have bit awareness in this domain and I have also observed the people in this domain. With that, I highlighted these two. So the challenges, the first and foremost, anyway, cash flow management is a big challenge. Time management, hiring of employees, selection of a product or service also, of course. Did not mention service also. And delegation of tasks. Delegation of tasks. So all these things, big challenges, in fact, they should balance all these things. If they miss any of these challenge, it leads to another problem. it leads to another problem. So cash flow management, example. What is this cash flow management? Maybe commerce or anything. But that's what entrepreneurship need not be commerce, management, mathematics. It is a general subject which we all should have awareness. So cash flow management is the best understanding when you use our home. This is what our family head will take care of all these things, right? For simple understanding as a student. So cash flow management. If you have a firm or tomorrow startup, whatever it is, how you are managing that cash flow from where you are bringing to where you are sending. Okay, because this is a very big area in the real-time startup career. Because countries like us, of course, day by day we are also liberalizing, no doubt. But this is the one parameter which should be very kind of caution type of parameter. One should be very much careful about the cash flow management from where you are bringing. Example, you wanted to start some firm or something. Are you bringing that amount from your friends, relatives, borrowers, any financial institutes? From where you are exactly getting? Where you are putting it? After successful business also. So this is what the cash flow management is very important. Of course, time management. It is what you call that? It should be a self kind of challenge. Time management is always self challenge. We should challenge the time, right? Most of the times. So that is what it has got its own importance. And the hiring of employees, it is another big nowadays. It is all nowadays. It is also very typical and most critical challenge, hiring of employees, because many of the experienced people know the importance of hiring of employees, either for founders, directors, or even experienced people also have and know the difficulty something hiring of employees. So what kind of product you are going to promise to the society or market, what kind of service, whatever it is, that we should select carefully, because then only you will have your own way of clarity. Delegation of tasks, another most important thing. You have all these things. How to delegate these tasks? Whom you want to be responsible in your absence? Because you need to perform many more activities under a company, a startup, whatever it is. So you should delegate properly all these tasks. So that's why nowadays, especially if there are many businesses, it is very important. Best example, delegation of tasks for students, you can clearly understand. Take the jewelry market. You will come to know the importance of this delegation of tasks. Jewelry market. Right. That is very much challenging. We have namesake. We put entrepreneurs. Right. Everybody is entrepreneur. Further, they have like employees how designated in different ways. Similarly, entrepreneurs journey also, we have different names based on the domains. That's what entrepreneurship. So, example, if you see edupreneur. So, edupreneur, nothing but entrepreneur, but specific domain is education. So, our director comes under this category, chairman of this Vigyan group, edupreneur. Right. So, like that, agripreneur. So whoever develops the technologies, products to serve the agricultural needs and for that sector. Like that, we have these classifications, but all together entrepreneurs. social entrepreneurship. This is a bit beyond the entrepreneurship, social entrepreneurship always. Now, the next generation entrepreneurs, because this is the today's point in this topic, next generation entrepreneurs. So next generation entrepreneurs means, so far we talked about existing entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, their qualities, and how to do all these things. But next generation entrepreneurs means it is named by identifying the age group, because since they have a lot of age to serve the nation, that's why they called as next generation entrepreneurs. So in that way, people identified if the age group is 25 to 35, we can call them as next generation. Why? Because best example in our generation, we have seen for the last 15 years the change in technology, especially digital technology, communications, digital, it has been changing radically or tremendously. So like that, if a person starts maybe today's next generation entrepreneurs like Byju's, right, Bhavesh Agarwal, Wala, all these things. If they provide some solution today in this way, means we can imagine if they are for next 10 years, what technologies they can bring, how big they can serve the communities. That is what the expectation of next generation is. So here, some areas, if you see the right entrepreneurial challenges for the next generation. Today we are in India, we are talking about bullet trains, but we never even imagined about the bullet trains, right? We never even imagined about the bullet trains 15 years back. But today we are talking about bullet trains. It's really a happy moment for all of us. Right. So like that, if you see from the telecom to retail, software to restaurants, airlines to coffee shops, railways to ropeways. So every area, that means from big end to small end, there is a lot of scope. It is not that only for this area we have scope, other area there is no scope. Because all these areas have lot of scope to do much more. Okay, so it is not that telecom is already saturated. Okay, this is what generally these next generation entrepreneurs. So they give up the old way of doing things. They always see the new possibilities. Okay, so nowadays if you see the group of people together, they create a company, right? They try to develop. So this is the trend in the current generation. This is what a kind of career opportunity. Okay, so yeah, as our great entrepreneur Jack Ma told, only thing you should have the right people around you. You must be surrounded by right people always. That is another most important thing, right? Because that's what history has shown many right things. Because whatever you talk about the big change, radical change, disruptive, in fact, that is only happened through entrepreneurs. Okay, it's not just if you see coming to this, because it is the topic career option. That means what? If jobs are not available, will it be good for students or not? That's good. So if jobs are not available, who will give job? So that was gone. So next, people should create jobs. So how they can create jobs means just by providing some solution. Very simple. So this is what I know. For the last 15 years, how we progress, all these things we have experienced. It's innovation and disruption. Right. So in business theory, disruptive innovation is innovation that creates a new market and a value network or enters at the bottom of an existing market and eventually displaces established market leading firms, products, and alliances. So this disruptiveness. Especially recent startups like Flipkart, Swiggy, Zomato. These are all disruptive technologies. They're all disruptive entrepreneurs. As a student, after 4 years of degree graduation, definitely you will get a job, no doubt. But this diagram shows if you are in a good college like Vignan or any, no doubt you are assured to get job. But what about others? Still, you know, the unemployment, the job market. So if you see like that, the company always hires the people in this process. That means you will undergo this filling process. You will undergo this filling process. Finally, they may hire you. So if you really think of yourself and believe yourself and try to explore your quality, as earlier stated in many slides, how it looks as a student, because you are young, energetic, have some innovation, thought process, technology. Once you process all these things, young graduates into innovative entrepreneurs. So how young graduates into innovative entrepreneurs? Just like that, will it happen? It will not happen. First of all, this is what a kind of SWOT analysis. One must identify their core strength. One must identify, because it is for students I'm talking, one must identify their core strength. So there are courses available on entrepreneurship. Right. Entrepreneurship Development of India website is there. Ahmedabad, it is there, main head office. So they offer some courses. I suggest if you are really zeal oriented to do something, that course also may be helpful to you. There is one suggestion I can give for the young graduates. So anyway, out of all these things or a whole session, the most important thing what I can say and highlight for entrepreneurs, market research. That is the most important. Market research. Okay. So in the management language, you have some shortcut things like TAM, SAM, SOM. Right. So TIM, TAM. That means this is the total available market. Total available market. This is just total available market. Total available market. So out of this total available market, what is the serviceable available market? This is the serviceable available market. Out of that, serviceable obtainable market is very important. So, being young graduates, if you do well in this parameter, provided you had all earlier characteristics, each and everything, definitely you will be an entrepreneur. So you need to have innovative approach, to have teamwork, right? Always try to look into the things where the problem exists. Since you are a young graduate, if possible, try to travel a lot. You must have heard about that gentleman from our Tenali. He used to travel. You know, he became like a celebrity today. Because some Ramana or something, any students, if you know the name and spell out, I will be happy. So today, he used to go all countries, right? Like that. So this thing already told, this what already Jack Ma told, that you must be surrounded with good people, also who are better than you. That means, somebody better than another means, you not explain. Now, you can think, what is this startup? Okay. So, startup means there is a still big confusion between startup and business. Every business cannot be a startup, but business, startup can be a business or enterprise. That is the difference. That means this innovation approach leads to make your firm or enterprise business as a startup. So if we add some technology through services or for the process, for the existing things only. So the existing so-called business would be called as a startup. Okay. Example, now all these things, nowadays we have seen this chain market, right? So digital market, all these things, what happened there? They just added some existing things only, it's not new. They have added something through technology. Choice of technology and assistance. See the availability, viability, scalability, and support. These are the four things, very, very important things. Because as I told, what is the startup is first doubt. Even if you try to know what is startup, how to start is another doubt. Yeah, nothing wrong, because it is quite common. We are all continuous learners. Let imagine yourself. Somewhere you are here and thinking about startup. That means your journey ahead of you. Right. So you should have some idea provided by a good team. After that, what you will do? You are trying to build a prototype with some of the faculty. Students are also doing up to this. We all know that. Coming to this level, because of many reasons, especially as a student, right? So up to this stage, many are coming as students. Coming to this step, there was a dilemma or ambiguity in their journey. So the drop starts from here. The person who just crossed this, again, they are moving forward. That means that will be grown and trying to scalable. Right. Next, they will see obviously finance. So finance is already told from where your cash flow management, from where you are bringing. This is more important. In the process, you have to be cautious with the legal aspects. So it is another important time where you have to be crucial, funding and legal things. Once it is over, you have to hire, right, good people and build that enterprise. Build that enterprise. Now go to the market to sell the products or services. Always after this stage, you will see and named as success. At this level, you also always receive some advices in the name of mentor or advisor, whatever you say. Like that, you will progress your business continuously. This is how to start a startup. People think that how to start a startup, you have an idea in your mind. With these parameters, you can build some enterprise. Performance indicators, a graduate to become an entrepreneur. What is the performance indicator means? Of course, in any education institutes, even society is nothing wrong. Teachers are the one who are always backbone of many changes, achievements, success stories. This is what we know. Also, in some stories, also recently we came to know the role of a teacher. What happened? Former President of India, I think Shankar Dayal Sarma, somewhere I read, when he visited a country where the country kings never, it's not a democratic country, so that there is a portfolio. So they never leave their empire, mostly kings. But in the whole history of the country, on that day, the king personally came to the airport by knowing the Shankar Dayal Sarmaji visiting and received the Shankar Dayal Sarmaji, and he drove the car as a driver, being a king of that empire. Everybody surprised in that kingdom. So, but later he revealed the fact. He studied in India. By the time Shankar Dayal Sarma was his guru. So that made people surprised. That is what the role of teachers. I also believe as a teacher, if we find right students properly, if they have any flavor of these kind of things, what we discussed today. So with us also, we can do something at our level. This is what the teacher's favorite student means. It is not no other meaning in it. This is what exact meaning. Such kind of favorite students we should surrounded by us. Leadership quality, definitely. That is the reason, especially in a group, we have very good pattern to handle the students. These are all to measure all these qualities, right? We have leadership qualities. How do we check the leadership qualities among the students? Communication skills, see the participation in extracurricular activities, etc. This is the in our country, just have collected sector-wise startups. Because you have a pharmacy background, startup culture in India. So here I want to tell a few things. See this sector, healthcare and life sciences. What you see outside, people often say for life sciences, the scope is less for startups. But today's trend, because of the many reasons, that became very big scope, life science market. So that is about 25% when compared to all. Next, agri also, no doubt, second place. So this is what demographically also, because it is only 14 to 19, right? Not the current exact analysis, it is that 5 years analysis. And here also, demographically, if you see, the highest startup culture we see in Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai. This is the order of startup culture in our country. Right. So rest all together, including Hyderabad and Chennai even. So all these together, that means these three cities fulfills 50% of the whole startup in the country. Three cities. Rest all the cities together, approximately the other percentage. More than 50% is only from these three cities. Rest is, that means why I'm telling what is startup, what for entrepreneurship, we already discussed. So it shows that we have a big scope. Other than these three cities, have a big scope to set their enterprise, a startup. While choosing you, it is an career opportunity. Right. So if you see here, the venture capitalist deals year-wise for the last 5 years. Okay. So gradually it is increasing in $1 million. See, almost it is 3 times for the last 5 years. Okay. So it is latest one. So these are the India's unicorn companies. If you see what are all companies, unicorn means, $1 billion above company. So these are the things we have: Byju's, Oyo, Ola, Swiggy, Zomato, all these things. All see, the kind of startups, the kind of people who are there, how they made it unicorn company. This is the inspiration for many students. Okay, especially you see Byju's. He studied in a private engineering college, mechanical engineering. Of course, just before this only I told you the power of teachers or role of teachers or importance of teachers in this journey. So here, fortunately, I came to know that somewhere in literature, the Byju's Ravindran, parents are teachers, both are teachers. So that's what I'm telling. If teacher is really serious, find the people, definitely they can. It is proven, maybe randomly or accidentally, whatever it is. Also, see the scenario. It is very encouraging for youth especially, unicorn companies in our country. If you see for the last 10 years, there was only one company in the 2011 till 2014, only single companies. See this, what characteristic we talked about entrepreneur? Opportunity. They see every problem as an opportunity. So the startups tremendously increased 4 times in the year 2021. That means because of the COVID, we had a lot of opportunity. Of course, we are one among the opportunities. Today, we are meeting in this way. This is only because of COVID. Right. 2020 March we experienced. But for the information sake, I have got an opportunity to present one project tied to, it was selected from university, the collaboration of electronics department. So they asked us to present through Zoom platform in the February. I did not know what is Zoom really on that day. Very surprising also I can say, I approached many, nobody knows on that day. Anyway, always we believe Google Mata. So we connected and presented that on that day. But within another 2 months, what happened, we know about Zoom, and including today's session. So many things are very much visible if we closely see the culture and the changes. And this is, I think, because of the COVID, it must be happened. So every problem is an opportunity. But this is what people also keep on talking during the COVID period, because we usually attend many expert lectures. They say every day, they say every time, every problem is an opportunity, right? You would see only end of this, like that. So this is very much evident to believe the statement, every problem is an opportunity. Right? So this much increment does not happen anywhere in the past 10 years. Why it has happened only in the particular year? No doubt, undoubtedly, we can say this is just because of the problem happened in the country or globe, that is COVID. Our country might have utilized it properly, so the unicorn companies raised that level. Right. So what government provides us, because since we are in democratic system, we always expect something from the government, right? No doubt. Though we talk about entrepreneurs, we want to be an entrepreneur, but still we look for some help from the governments. I'm talking about government of India. They always, for the last 7-8 years, they have been encouraging this culture in the country. They have made a lot of kind of resolutions, policies, or whatever you name. They made many things. Example, if you see, earlier you want to register a startup. It was like best example, easily can understand. How did we get telephone connection for the 10 years back? You all know. Similarly, startup also, to create a startup, that was a kind of a hectic procedure. But in 2015, the government of India launched this Startup India website. With a click, you can own your company. Like that, they have facilitated. Also, they have given some opportunities, cost reduction. Okay, because any patent means that is what through startups means some technology services. So where technology involves, they have facilitated all these people. If you want to protect your technology, yes, there is a support from Government of India, Startup India. So almost 80% of reduction they have provided for startups in case of patent filing. Also, they have easy access funds. It is a kind of fund of funds like SIDBI Bank, you know, all of you, SIDBI Bank. So fund of funds, they created like a corpus fund, about 10,000 crores fund set up by the Government of India. There, through that bank, SIDBI and many other financial institutions. In the recent budget, government allotted fund of funds about 10,000 crores, I remember. Right. Also, they have declared some tax holidays for 3 years. Because you need not pay any tax. That is what tax holiday means. Another advantage. Right. So like that, they keep on increase. And another advantage, easy exit. This is also another important parameter. Creating is very easy, good, but exit, if necessary, if requires, exit also should be, because happy living is also very important in one's career. So here, if somebody, because of any reason, wants to close a startup, I don't know whether you remember it or not. Recently, it has happened in Saudi. Our Indians business, right? In this wave only, she was in trouble because the partner came to us. They are from Kerala. They had a big unit in Arab countries. Because of this exit policy not fulfilled in that country, she was in trouble and she was under a tree for sometimes that's what the story I read. That's what the importance of exit policy, I'm telling you. Exit policy also very important. That's what Indian government created, an exit policy. Within 90 days, you can wind up if you don't like to run. Also, government facilitated to meet other entrepreneurs, right? So, every year they conduct 2 startup fairs, both nationally and internationally, where different stakeholders, right, they will meet. So this will provide huge networking opportunities. In our case also, we are doing in our own way. This is the networking facilities. But also the government takes care, right, in a systematic way. That is another thing. So startups are especially highly encouraged for the last 7-8 years. The graph shows, and once the startup is successful, the benefit which reaches to the community level is very highly influenced benefit. Anything if it's choose, that is what. Let me, if I'm right, I remember in 2011 or something, about 450 or something startups in India, not in 1000, about 500 startups in India. But recently, if you see, that is increased to nearly 5,000 startups in India today. I do not have the exact figure, but it is approximately, I'm telling, about 5,000 startups are there in India today. This is what the encouragement given by from government side also with all these facilities, right? Because anything, see, disruptive innovations, what I told recently, these are all the startups only. They have created a lot of disruption across the nation as well as globally also. Right. Just now I talked, when I received a Zoom meeting call, I depended on this Google only. And these are the Indian disruptive startups. If you, okay, all these things are good and heard. If you see a journey of an entrepreneur in a day, right? It looks like this, right? What they will feel first, oh, today I'm excited because it is too hard. Other day, oh, I'm working, right? So in that process at afternoon or sometime, oh, they feel I messed up. I messed up like that. Again, give up for good cause. That's what great. Okay, again, after some evening or sometime, so I'm totally bankrupt. This is the feeling expressed. So other fine day, oh, I'm good. I don't know why I get so down yesterday like that. They themselves self-motivation. This is what self-motivation. Okay. Again, after some time, oh no, I was stuck. So finally, again, that means it all includes self-motivation. So entrepreneurs should have this quality of self-motivation because these are all the feelings, situations, right? They need to cross all these things. That is the inevitable quality of any entrepreneur. And if you see, because only success stories we are talking, because it is a career opportunity for students, young engineers. Other side also I need to project. It's what I'm projecting. There are cases, failures in startups. But as per the survey I have collected, they already formulated and identified top 20 reasons. What are the top 20 reasons means? First and foremost reason is there is no market need. Example, that's what we have already discussed in the previous sessions. Without market need, why should we focus? No use, ultimately. It is only for our passion. If you do something, nothing will work out. And we will not exist as a company or firm, enterprise. And second thing, ran out of cash. There is another big problem. Not having right team. This is what I told you, Jatma. That's what we always recollect what great people always coined. Right from the Tata, new CEOs like Satya Nadella, great, and almost ancient entrepreneur like Ford. Henry Ford talked about quality. What is meant by quality? It's not quality should be defined by X, Y, Z people, papers. Quality should be on own. When a person works on his own and somebody is not observing, that is the quality. It was coined long back and long ago by the Henry Ford. Also, being an entrepreneur, Satya Nadella told, it should not be any traditional, it should be innovative. Then it will work out as a startup. Anyways, always Ratan above all of us, he rightly mentioned, you should not think of just profits and loss of your companies. You must go beyond your profits and losses and reach the communities which you are supposed to serve. That is the zeal you should possess. And Jack Ma told, you should have right people around you to build something. These are all the reasons appearing in this graph. Right? So this is why we call them great people. not having the right team. Okay. So pricing cost, poor product, these are all known things. Anyway, if our product is not good, no one will prefer. Okay. Our business model also should be very good. Yes, you have product, you have people, you have everything, but what is your model, business model? That is more important. Okay. So sometimes customers, that is takes, this is more important. We all know as a counselor, right? We all experienced how importance we give to our counselors and the parents. So this is the most important parameters, customers. So product miss time, lose focus, right? The focus, all these things. So any harmony that plays a big role. If you do not have a proper harmony among the investors, team, no use. Okay, pivot gone bad. Lack of passion, locational advantage also. As I just told, if your location is this and you are preparing another product, what is the use of that? Is regional entrepreneurship quite often. Okay, burnout, failure to pivot. So like this, you have many reasons, but out of all this, if you remember these 4 or 5 reasons, you can move forward your startup in a successful way. For pharmacy students, so these are the top pharmaceutical opportunities in the pharmaceutical sector. So being a pharmaceutical graduate, one can think of any of these suitable areas. You have a pharmaceutical marketing, a trading company, right? Or pharmaceutical manufacturing company, or carrying and forwarding agent type services, some kind of wholesaler, distributor, stockist of medicine. That means all these things are existing, but you need to add technology. That's what to become an entrepreneur. Retail pharmacy, chemist business, PCD pharma franchise companies. So even cosmetics and beauty manufacturing products. Okay. Pharma raw material supplies. Food diet, it is another good area nowadays. Food and diet supplements. Okay. These are all some of the areas which I found. For you, of course, you are the people. Further, you can finalize. So these are the opportunities. Okay, you have tried all these things and put a lot of effort. What is the end of the day? That also alternatives always should be with us. Yes. So here, alternative routes to small business or ownership. Maybe it is sometimes a startup or a small franchise or even a family business buyout. So end of the day, we also definitely will have some alternate. Your startup might not be successful, but you also have alternate, so that you should never give up that confidence. That's more important. Some of the entrepreneurs, let us recall top entrepreneurs of this world. So Jeff Bezos, we all know that Amazon leader today. Each of us, day-to-day life, we see the people, we call the people, we recall the people. That is the role of Amazon in our day-to-day life. That's what entrepreneurship. And Bill Gates, we all know, very popular. So Amazon about $131 billion. Maybe values keep on change as per the statistics which I obtained. I'm presenting here. $1 billion, all these things are. Warren Buffett's about $82 billion. Arnold about $76 billion. Zuckerberg about $62 billion. All these are simple startups only. See, they're leading and shaking the entire world. Okay, from our Indian, that's what regional entrepreneurs, regional place I told. So here if you see Dhirubhai Ambani Group, Reliance Industries, this is industry, right? But many of a part of that, many startups are there in their industry. It is about $51.78. Tata Motors, because everything is Tata, I think nowhere they mentioned. But fortunately, see, any of you know Narayana Murthy full name? Nagavara Ramarao Narayana Murthy. Each student, please try to make a note about Infosys Narayana Murthy garu and Sudha Murthy garu. They are very renowned people in our country. What they every day do, another way of understanding entrepreneur and entrepreneurial role and entrepreneurial contribution in the nation. These are the best people. Shivanada, what HCL systems, what Shivanada company does for India. Lakshmi Nivas Mittal is all these are unicorn companies in India itself, right? So Azim Premji, all these are such a great entrepreneurs. They contribute a lot to this nation. These words are not enough to talk about such people. I just want to sum up this session, right? So now we can believe entrepreneur is one who identifies and sensitizes the opportunities, innovate the ideas, raises money, assembles inputs, and set and manage the organization. With all these things successfully, an entrepreneur will run. This is one thing. Second one, the introduction of these entrepreneurs. Many areas are there, but for us it is pharmaceuticals. Just I talked about pharmaceutical opportunities, but many areas are there, provided they have to have all these qualities which we already talked, right? At least if not full risk-taking capability. If we have a moderate risk-taking capability also enough, that's what we are summing, right? We told risk-taking capability is a weak parameter one should possess, but what we are telling, this is what we are telling. At least if you have moderate, also very good. So importance of agriculture also, because whatever field we do, we study, our country builds on agricultural sector. Still 60 to 70% in between contribution only through agricultural. So that a big scope also there on agricultural side also. Being a domain experts, if you people able to connect to the agricultural and find the gap and able to give the solution, I think it would be much beneficial to the people, the communities which they are looking for somebody's help. Finally, most of us, we have our own beliefs. Our foundation is ultimately a belief. So that what I just liked, I'm sharing. What you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So positively, we have to understand this quotation. Just share. With this, I thank again for all the participants, organizers. Any questions, I try to answer. The forum is open. Please.
Thank you. Thank you, Professor Maheshwara.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So any questions from participants, you are free to ask. So what are the supporting systems from government for the young students, sir?
Yeah. That's what, sir. Whatever I already mentioned in the slide, Startup India one, sir. So Government of India made the policy through which they have given lot of benefits if somebody is really interested. Initially, they are encouraging in the form of hackathons. If they shortlisted domain-wise, if you have a DBT is there. But if they like that student kind of idea at a prototype level, up to 50 lakhs they are for students, not for faculty or any researchers. So there are many ways Government of India, I am talking, they are trying to reach the students and encourage them through proper platforms.
Thank you, sir. So thank you, Professor Nageshwara Garu, for giving a
Thank you, sir.
very good lecture on the entrepreneurship. And I think this will definitely enlighten our students in coming days to start up their war ventures, plan accordingly in this academic schedule. When they go out of the college, I hope all the students, instead of at least some, instead of searching for a job, at least some can stand on their own and help in the growth of economy of India. So I thank you, the Vignan University management also for
Thank you,
supporting
sir.
you, to deliver your valuable speech. And I also thank our principal sir, Dr. P. Srinivas Babu Garu, and organizing members, Mr. Alamandeswara Garu, and other members, Sri Vidya, all the ISC members for active participation and supporting the IAC team to do this kind of activities. And I also thank all the participants and my students who voluntarily entered into this platform. Thank you all, and thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Also, from my side, extend my once again heartfelt thanks to Principal sir, who has accepted to present today's session. And my special thanks to our organizers, Srinath sir and Almandeswara sir and the team, IIC team. And always we must be greatly indebted to our management. They only created all these platforms and encouraging us. And my special thanks to particularly my department HOD, who given me an opportunity to spend this time. With this, I thank everybody, our student, volunteers, everybody. Thank you, sir. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. So the meeting is ended. The meeting is ended. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.